I said Almost Bronson Alcott never talked down to me. Alcott is a teacher, writer, philosopher, and reformer, and he was a debate team champion, so he would pick us apart psychologically. One time, I was at the dinner table in 1845 because my house was nothing but sticks and dreams. Alcott goes, "How were the woods today?" I said, "It was good, but slavery is a real moral stain on this country." "And where are you?" "I'm working in the woods." "And what are you doing?" "Nothing, I'm working in the woods." "But you see what's happening." "Yeah, because I'm working in the woods." "So you see what's happening and you're doing nothing." "Yeah, because I'm working in the woods." Let me ask you this. In Nazi Germany, when people saw what the Nazis were doing and did nothing, were those good people? Oh no, you see, those are bad people. You gotta stop the Nazis. But you see that slavery is a stain on this country and you're doing nothing because I'm working in the woods. And then Alcott said, "Just explain to me how you're better than a Nazi." And then his wife said, "I've made a salad with wild beans and berries." And the conversation ended. I saw that John Mulaney is going to be playing Henry David Thoreau in a movie about Dickinson, and I thought, okay, there's my intro. If you don't know John Mulaney, go check him out. He's incredibly funny. Welcome back to Mummified Games. My name is Tony, and today we're going to be looking at the historical walking simulator game, Walden, by the Game Innovation Lab. Game Innovation Lab is a self-described on their Twitter bio as a research center and think tank for experimental game design at the USC School of Cinematic Arts. The game was based around the first years of the Walden experiment, where Henry David Thoreau lived in the woods and survived out the land. His goal was to grow more and get attached to nature and strip away the basic necessities of life. I can understand this. The idea of moving out and carving your own place in the woods and sort of settling down away from everyone, becoming one with nature. I used to do a lot of camping out in the woods, being a member of the Boy Scouts of America and becoming an Eagle Scout. There are so many weekends where I was able to just take in nature and enjoy its freedom and beauty. Noted actor, comedian, and performer Brendan Beach Deary once described the husband's dream, where you're able to use the bathroom, number 2, while looking out over a lake or a vast wild field. And having experienced this firsthand, I can say, if you have the means, I highly recommend it. It is so choice. I have the appreciation of nature, and that the start of this game, he describes how great it is that the nearest neighbor is almost a mile away, even though Alcott's house and family are just at the top of the hill, and you're on land owned by Alcott. So I guess take that description with a grain of salt. I'm sure that the real-life Thoreau was much more isolated than in-game Thoreau. The gameplay is fairly basic if you've ever played a sort of survival game. Not as stressful though. You need to gather wood, food, and other things to keep yourself alive. If you have enough wood, you can finish building your house and then upkeep it on the daily. Pick berries of black, blue, and straw to eat, along with fishing by the lake. You learn that just before heading out, Thoreau sold his rifle to help finance the experiment, and he monologues about how he finds the process of fishing much more natural and less destructive, or something like that. I can understand how he feels this way. There are a ton of things that you can find and learn about in this game. Most of the story comes from collecting arrowheads, where Thoreau talks about certain things in sites around the lake. These recounts of Thoreau's time at the lake are a nice window into what he experiences and what he's thought about living in the wild. As you might be able to parse, the game is super low stress and low action. There doesn't seem to be much danger going on, other than maybe getting hungry, but there are wild berries all over. There's fishing spots all around the lake. So as Thoreau says, the abundance of nature makes it easy for one to live a full and healthy life. The game is a fun and interesting way of experiencing what he was doing by the lake. Obviously, don't just cite this game. It's always a good idea to have multiple sources for your historical knowledge, or really anything in general. It's good to have multiple sources for a wide variety of topics. Go check this game out if you like calm, relaxing games, or games about noted historical figures. If you played this game, let me know your thoughts. If you haven't played this game, are there any other walking simulators or historical games like this that you would want me to try? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I don't have to go find berries. I've got a pound of ground beef defrosting on the counter, and I'm gonna go meal prep for the next couple of days. You all do the YouTube dance. Like, sub, bell, share with someone you know, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, friends, keep digging. We'll make it out someday. See you in the next one.